Hello, friends of Athena's Palace. This is Deanna coming through with another astrology video. This time, I'm going to go deeper into the triple conjunction that's going on right now between Neptune, the Sun, and Mercury. They're all converging upon one point in the zodiac, and they're coming into squares individually with Mars and Gemini. And the first of these squares is the Neptune square with Mars. And this square has been going on and off in our lives since October of 2022, where Mercury transited in a square to Neptune at, I believe it was October the 12th, 2022. And that was our first square that we had on this, so it was in effect for most of the mid part of the month. And so it's helpful if you think back to what was going on in your life in October and November, because then Mars went retrograde and it went back into a square with Neptune on November 19th, 2022. So I don't know about you, but I was doing some spiritual work with the Kabbalah, and all of a sudden I was told, don't work on that anymore. Don't take any more action. Come back to it later. You need to focus on something else. And it really surprised me because I've been going on this program, and I was in a class, and I had already done like 14 weeks of this program, and I just stopped all of a sudden. And I think it was this Mars transit, because it almost identically coincided with it. And Mars didn't go direct until January the 12th, I believe, was when Mars went direct. And at that time I started feeling that pressure to not work on that program and to move forward again. And I don't know if any of you are having a similar situation where something that you were struggling over taking action on kind of got halted back in the fall, and now Mars is to the end of its retrograde shadow, and it's time for us to move forward on whatever it was we were doing previously. So, or maybe move forward on a new direction that we uncovered with respect to the Mars retrograde. So very interesting and very powerful time. Now, Mars and Gemini can really help us catch any communication challenges that may be going on with the Neptune square. I mean, we may slip up, but we're going to recognize it, and we'll have an opportunity to make corrections. And the thing about Gemini is it can kind of scatter Mars energy around. So it's going to be pretty important to stay connected with the people you're communicating with, and be on target and focused with your communications, so that you can really move forward in a positive way. Because Mars is really about helping us move forward in a positive way. And the conflict with Neptune is to move forward in a positive way on our dreams, whatever we're dreaming of and what we're trying to create, now that Saturn is in Pisces with Neptune. So keeping things very simple is also helpful with Neptune. Keeping Mercury organized, keeping our mind organized, is also key to positive forward movement. So on the actual square was exact on March 14th, so that was a couple of days ago, but it's still in effect. And then yesterday on March 15th, Neptune conjuncted the Sun in Pisces. And you may have noticed, I know I have, that I've been more sensitive the last couple of days. My intuition is fully online. I'm really empathetic to others around me. And all of this is being enhanced by this transit The sun, our solar center, is stimulated to engage others on spiritual topics. And the thing that we got to look out for, because Neptune it can be kind of tricky, is that we use discernment, so we're not allowing others to pull on our energy and drain us, because we are compassionate people, and we want to be kind to others. So we have to assure that we're not being drained of our energy when we do that, and that the people that are giving back to us are also feeding us energetically. So that's pretty important. Another thing to look out for is false information, to be discerning that whatever information you get, it could be false, and making sure that you're checking the facts, and that you're setting boundaries with others, and enjoying time with souls who resonate with your spiritual interests. That's what I recommend, because it's really a time that you can get a lot of pleasure from that, being with those friends that do resonate with your interests. So great time for that. Today, there's a lot going on. I kind of feel like this day and the days coming up are super important, because it's almost like a turning point in our lives right now. And we've got today Neptune conjuncted Mercury, and it forced us to think about our communications on a spiritual level. And our imagination is enhanced by this Neptune Mercury conjunction, and you may have had deep insights that are helping you. You may have some really good meditation, or maybe you had some dreams that can give you information, and it's helpful. I know I've had really vivid dreams this week, and participating in any number of spiritual things, even occult things like tarot and astrology, those can be very helpful at this time. And just remember, with Neptune, it's always important to have the highest moral standards when you do practices during a Neptune transit, and because your psychic abilities are deeply enhanced, and spiritual information can be transmitted easily. So use compassion when sharing those topics with others. Now, also on the 16th, Sun was square to Mars. So this triple conjunction square is intensified by the Sun being involved. So whenever we have the Sun transiting square to Mars, new events may occur, or things may come up that will prod us to take bold action or assert ourselves in an important new direction. So this is that turning point that I mentioned. I think this time is really ripe for that. And, we've also got Venus square to Pluto at the moment, and you may be having a greater intensity in your thoughts and relationships, and you may be wanting to deepen your connection with others at this time. And so it's important to understand why those urgings are happening, why your needs and values could help, maybe asking for kind of a review, and how you should assert yourself in a new direction, in a positive way, so that you can cultivate the strength that can come from Pluto, and any growth from any changes that you implement. You can really benefit from that at this time. And also on the 16th, Venus entered Taurus, and Venus has been in Aries, where she is in exile. So Venus moving into Taurus is pretty exciting for her. She's home again. She's domicile. She's, like all of us, we're really comfortable in our homes, and when she's there in Taurus, she's very much her strongest self, and she can really indulge in her pleasures and feel secure and express her archetype in a very strong way. And so we have great support from Venus to focus in on fulfilling our desires, our heart's desires, for the next few weeks until she leaves Taurus. And with Mercury is on the 17th, we've got Mercury going into a square with Mars. So the final planet going into that square with Mars. So this square transit highlights a need for us to make difficult choices. We need to, we may have been avoiding these actions for a while because of that Mars retrograde. So, but we've avoided it too long, and it's time now to make these changes in our life. And that could involve cutting some things out of your life, because as you grow and you expand and you go to new directions, normally something needs to be cut out to make space for that. And as long as you're doing that with caution and you're thinking it through as you're taking action, you can definitely be creative at this time to start a new beginning, because creativity is certainly enhanced for this transit of Mercury to Mars in Gemini. And also tomorrow on the 17th, we have Sun conjunct Mercury. So this is called Cazimi. Mercury is on the far side of the Sun, and this transit really kind of empowers Mercury to be more focused on mental processes and communications. So you can be really sharp on this transit, and it's a good time to share ideas about your dreams and to make plans for whatever it is you're creating in your life. And you can meet new people also during this transit. So it's great to put yourself out there during this time. And also on the 17th, we have Venus sextile to Saturn. And this is a very sweet aspect between two planetary friends. Venus and Saturn are friends in the zodiac. And with Venus at home and well dignified in Taurus, it's very easy for us to ground our ideas. Saturn will help us ground the ideas and get started with the plan and start putting the plan into action, start building what we want, what we're dreaming of creating. So it's really supportive. And with the 3-year cycle of Saturn and Pisces, we can really get going on whatever spiritual development or endeavor for raising our consciousness or a spiritual devotion, any of those things. This is just a superior time for that, with Venus sextile Saturn tomorrow. And finally, on the 18th, Mercury is sextile to Pluto, and that day we're going to be thinking about serious topics, and we're going to be using our intuition during that time to allow us to get to the truth of matters. So, wow, this is just a huge time for change in our lives, and just a lot of cosmic fireworks going on in the sky to support us in changing ourselves and our lives and affecting others. And I just wish you all well on your journey, and I thank you for tuning in. And I'm just having a ball with this new channel. I really am having fun. So thank you for being part of Athena's Palace, and please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and that way you'll be notified. I would just love to build this channel. So thank you for your help, and enjoy the cosmos. Mwah.